Good morning, y'all. Today is June 30th of 2015. My name is Damian Carter. Welcome to The Real Talk. I'm on my day off, and it's very, very early for me to be. I've been up since 6:30 this morning, and this is my day off, ironically. But I've been thinking about this for a couple of weeks now, and I got to get some shit off my heart. Parents. What the fuck are you doing with your fucking kids? Sorry, y'all, but I work in a retail environment, part-time, where it's a historic site, and I see a lot of families, a lot of school groups, and a lot of bad fucking ass kids out of control with no discipline, no structure, and no respect for adults. That shit gets on my fucking nerves! You see me yelling because I'm very passionate about this, and I want to say to parents, get your fucking shit together because your children are fucked up. Now, let me explain what I mean. I'm 35 years old, which means I was born in 1980, which means in some way, shape, or form, I was exposed to old school discipline. That means if I was caught doing something or acting out of control or doing something that I should not be doing, and a neighbor or a family friend saw me, I was corrected at that moment. And by the time I got home, the ass whooping was ready for me. Now, let's process this for a moment. Put the ass whooping in the parking lot for right now. When I say the ass whooping was ready for me, I mean this. That person who caught me corrected my behavior then, and I had to mentally anticipate the fact that I had to face my own mother when I got home, because by the time she found out, she was going to be livid, and I was going to have to process that with her and also experience some level of restriction or punishment thereafter. Does that mean that I was going to be physically spanked for everything? Not necessarily, but in the 80s, my mother whooped my ass for every syllable that she said out of her mouth while spanking me, because she always used to tell me, my mother used to always say, as I got older and I experienced badass kids, she told me something that's very, very profound and honest and real and true for parents today. You need to discipline your child the minute they come home from the hospital. That means if you don't start building the foundation then, it's going to crack and crumble later in life. I see a lot of fucked up ass foundations as I interface with children every day. I mean, let's face it, as I stated, I'm 35 years old. My mother looks at me, or my dad looks at me now, and it's like, you stop, and if you're doing something you're not supposed to, I give that look to some of the kids in my store. It's like, and they stop. But I'm not seeing that same interaction with parents on a regular basis. In fact, I'm not going to discuss demographics, or I'm not going to discuss groups of people, and I'm not going to stereotype people, but I'm seeing trends where certain types of parents are just a little too friendly with their children, and they coddle their children too much. And I understand that times have changed and children are different from the time that I grew up. But at the same time, there comes a fine point where you just have to say, I'm the fucking authority. You will listen to me. And I don't give a damn what you think. You live under my house, under my roof, and you're following my rules, period. You don't have an option in the matter. I think that's gone. And I'm pissed about it. I'm damn pissed about it. In fact, I once questioned a group of parents once, and unfortunately, this was the group of parents that I worked with at the job that I was fired from, but all of those parents were ignorant as hell anyway. A lot of them told me something that was beneficial, and I understood. A lot of parents, parents in general, don't know how to be parents until they have their first child. I get it. There is no blueprint. But at the same time, based on your own experiences in life, you have to come to know, in order for my child to be able to function, I have to teach them how to avoid some of the mistakes that I made, and also give them the same foundation that I was given. If I miss something in my foundation and I know they're going to need it, I need to make sure they have it. Where the fuck is that now? Because even with my own father has two younger sons that are under the age of 13. My 12-year-old little brother is like, I'm speaking to you, motherfucker, and you're playing a video game and I'm telling you about your English grades? Oh no, give me that motherfucking controller. Go to your fucking room and read a fucking book. Don't come out of that room until you can tell me what happened cover to cover. I'm not seeing that same level of discipline with the children. I'm not necessarily saying that I have to cuss at the child and talk to them like that. Give me a summary of what you read. Do you understand why I'm telling you to do what you need to do? There's this gap in communication. I mean, even with my father's 67 years old, and I think in some ways he's stuck in the age where my sister and I were younger kids. So it's like, we understand how he's communicating, but as a mother, she tells her sons something and they have no choice but to listen. I look at them as uncle, or I look at my brothers as the big brother, and it's like, do you want me to fuck you up? Do you want to get your ass whooped? Get in there and get your shit together. Do you hear what he just told you to do? Hurry up and do it. One time, my 12-year-old brother was about to eat his lunch without saying grace, and my father told him to say grace, and he ignored him. I slapped him upside his head and said, say grace! He snapped to attention. Not necessarily, again, I'm not endorsing physical abuse. I'm not endorsing physical discipline, but sometimes you have to go, hey, get it together. What are you doing? And as a male voice, no shade to the single mothers, no shade to the women who've had their children abandoned by their male partners and children who've grown up fatherless. But science has proven, and psychological studies have proven, that the sound of a male voice in terms of authority has been proven to be successful. So I want to make sure that my brothers and my nephews know, hey, I'm a male authority in your life and you will listen and you will respect me. Get it together. Now! Stand up straight. Open the door for a woman. Make sure that you are polite. Make sure you say please and thank you. That's another issue that I'm seeing. What happened to parents teaching their children the golden rules of living? If it doesn't involve you, stay out of grown folks' business. Say please and thank you. Sit up straight. Look at me when I'm speaking to you. Don't have an answer for everything. When someone is telling you something, you say yes, sir, or yes, please. Thank you. Things of that nature. What the hell? Have we become so microwave in 2015 that we have lost the foundations of functioning as humans organically? I'm concerned. I'm really concerned, and I'm speaking so loudly and passionately today because it's been laying heavy on my mind lately, and it's just like, dawg, what the hell? Are y'all raising robots that are just becoming so obsessed with their electronics that they are no longer thinking for themselves? I guess so. And that's, I guess, to be very shady, I want to say this. If I ever have kids, I'm going to have to find a fine balance between being that ideal parent that I saw on The Cosby Show and picking up a broomstick and beating the fuck out of him and saying, what you will give me is respect. For those of you who watch the TV show Empire, you know what I'm talking about. Because no matter how old a child gets or how big they get, they have to remember that you are the parent. Because I'm 6'3". My mother is 5'5.5". She would break me down with a heartbeat and still slap me so hard that my teeth click and dare me to cry, and she'll give me something to cry about and then tell me you got 5 seconds to pull your face together. And it's like, where is the discipline? Where is the structure? Parents, where did you go? Give you a good example. Yesterday, I was at work and I was ringing up a family at the retail store where I'm working. And the youngest child of the family was running rampant in the store. I kept my eyes on him because I didn't trust him around the breakable products in the store. Lo and behold, I watched this little boy literally stuff things in his pockets. And it wasn't until the parents rang up their purchase that they realized, oh, this little motherfucker stole shit. And not only did he try to steal things, he started putting products that weren't paid for in his mouth. And they were going to act like nothing was wrong and we're going to put it back. And I said, don't even do it. So then they decided it was then time to discipline him. And it was like, hold on, y'all. This would not be a problem if you were paying attention to what the fuck your kids were doing. That's my next issue. Parents, I understand that you're not going to be able to be around your children every minute of every day for the rest of their lives, but You've got to be able to give them the values and the foundation that they need to make a right decision. My mother did that with me. She was very clear that by the time I was 16, she was going to have to cut the apron strings at some point. So that left me with the decision, hey, what are you going to do in this type of situation? What are you going to do? In fact, we would have conversations like this when I turned 14. She would give me a scenario and be like, okay, Damien, let's say this is happening. You enter this kind of environment. This is going on. What do you do? Granted, my mindset was young and immature at that time period, but I knew what the values and foundation required for me to make the right decision for me at that time. She gave me values that made me think about what I was going to do. As I got older, I was aware of those values, but I still was able to make a conscious decision whether I was going to do it or not. I had those options. Kids just deviate to the option that they think they should do it no matter what, period. Even if it doesn't mean they're going to have, even without the values that I was given. Maybe I'm being very closed-minded and I'm not meeting them where they are, but let's face it. I'll meet a kid where they are. I'll meet anyone younger than I am where they are. But if I'm going to be a responsible person that's affecting change in the world, I'm not going to leave you there. I want to get you from here to here. If you're not open to it, then we have a problem. I'm moving on. I'm not going to keep you in my life then. I just feel like parents, you are the first teachers to this generation. You are supposed to be raising the leaders of tomorrow. And I'm very disappointed in a lot of y'all. Not all, but a lot of y'all. A lot of you are transferring your personal problems and personal issues to these children. And you all are raising some fucked up ass kids. My former best friend, 3 different kids, 3 different fathers. One she hasn't seen in over 10 years. The middle child is somehow successful. And the third one, she basically drank until her 5th month of pregnancy. So God knows what's going to happen with that one. Now, not every kid is that example, but let's face it. If you're going to basically transfer your personal problems to your children, that means that you've basically destroyed them before they had a chance to grow. I want y'all to think about that today. That's all I wanted to say today. That's the real talk for today, June 30th of 2015. My name is Damien Carter on YouTube and Google+. Damien Pierre Carter on Facebook, and Supermodel Swagger on Instagram. Just to let y'all know, I discovered recently that there is another Damien Carter on YouTube somewhere and Google+. Look for this face because I don't have any animated photos, or I don't have any JPEGs or bit strips as a photograph. That person did the last time I checked out their profile. So be very careful that you're not following the wrong person. This is me. In fact, you'll find me talking a lot about, you'll see a lot of Janet Jackson on my channel. That's the way to find out who I am. Now, on that note, it's early. I want to chill out for a little bit for the rest of my day off, this morning at least, and then head out and do some things that require errands and bill paying, etc. for the household. So on that note, be fierce, be fabulous, and be inspired. I'll see you on the runway. And, of course, I love you. If no one else told you that they love you today, know that I do. Parents, show your children some love today by giving them some discipline, structure, and love. Tender love, tough love, real talk. Be well.